If you think Wonder Woman is a colorful origin story, then you'd be surprised on how she was created. An eccentric, provocative, but captivating movie about the true-to-life adventures behind the creation of Wonder Woman, Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman is about the polyamorous life of William Marston, his wife Elizabeth, and their partner Olive Byrne. Welcome to Dizziness, and let's dive into the real kinky and stimulating backstory of Wonder Woman. Professor William Moulton Marston, under the pen name of Charles Moulton, is the creator of Wonder Woman. William and Elizabeth are psychologists from Harvard, and together they invented the first lie detector test based on the operations of systolic blood pressure test, which is the inspiration behind the lasso of truth. The story begins with the Child Study Association of America scrutinizing the bondage and sadomasochistic imageries of Wonder Woman comics, which were plenty during her first appearance in Sensation Comics in the 1940s. During those years, the majority of the readers are the young impressionable children and not the adults, which sparked controversies for the parents. While the plot is initially a little demure with reserved dimples and becoming blushes, the design of the film revolves in the fantasy and fun of the unconventional family unit. Marston's sensual backstory begins with the couple meeting the very attractive Olive Byrne as his student and their research assistant. Mixing teachings between feminism and eroticism, Marston conveyed his lessons about the disc theory, which stands for dominance, inducement, submission, and compliance, a theory that would become the brainchild behind Wonder Woman. While still engaged to be married, Olive Byrne, a member of a college sorority, started a three-way relationship with Marston and his wife. Olive Byrne is kind, soft-spoken, and pure of heart, while Elizabeth Marston is strong, smart, and ferocious. Together, they represented the ideal personality of Wonder Woman with a hint of lesbianism and bisexualism. Of course, the relationship would still be thought as unconventional today, let alone in the 1940s, and they had to deal with many obstacles. First, both Marston and Elizabeth were fired from Radcliffe, forcing Elizabeth to become a secretary despite having a master's degree from Harvard. One of Wonder Woman's alter ego was also as a secretary of Steve Trevor. Second, they had to deal with the neighbors when they found about their relationship. However, when Marston met the G-string king and through lingeries and bondage demonstrations, he finally got the idea of making the disc theory interesting for the people by means of comics. Thus, Wonder Woman was born. The performances from the three lead actors Luke Evans, Rebecca Hall, and Bella Heathcote kept the film compelling, especially from Hall and Heathcote, who gave extremely different screen presences while complementing each other perfectly. This movie works well as an illuminating slice of pop culture history that comic book fans might not have known before. Nevertheless, it provided more impact to the timeless celebration of strong women supporting each other. Rebecca Hall, as always, was incredible as the honest and tremendously frank Elizabeth. Luke Evans is at his most appealing in the period suits and hats, and Heathcote is also remarkable and sweet. Angela Robinson, the writer and director of the film, gave equal weight to Elizabeth and Olive and their relationship with Marston and each other. Viewers can realistically get the impression that all three are in love with one another. One small disappointment about this film is the title, which may have discouraged the targeted viewers from seeing it. Feminist audiences are easily disinterested by the title. The love story is not centered on Marston. It is not a love triangle but a shared love for all. The title gave the impression that the world of Elizabeth and Olive revolved around him, when in fact both of them are the inspirations behind Wonder Woman. Although we are not entirely sure of the accuracy of all the details of the story, especially when the descendants of the characters have criticized the movie, this film should be commended for its positive depiction of a polyamorous relationship and for exploring facets of Wonder Woman that most fans are not aware of. The costumes, hair, and makeup are flawless, and the acting is praiseworthy. The movie showed the realities of a very uncommon relationship that even for this day and age can be perceived to be bordering to perversion.